Hello guys, my name is Keyshawn, and in today's video, we're doing something different. I just feel like, or I just felt like I wanted to record this little review for CompTIA's A plus test style 3.4.9 lesson review. So this one is just a quick one based off of like CPUs and CPU architecture, etc., etc. So this is my first attempt at it. Hopefully, I can get them all right. If I don't get it right, I'm still probably gonna upload it, and we can review the answers together, just so in the future we can both get it right whenever it matters. So for the first question, I probably won't read every question, but obviously for the first question, you have just installed a new CPU in your workstation along with a CPU heatsink and fan. Which of the following should you do next as best practice? Ensure that the CPU and motherboard socket type match. Update the UEFI after installing the processor. Connect the fan's power supply. Verify that the motherboard supports the processor speed. So if we just installed a new CPU in the workstation along with the heatsink, we can rule out option A. We should do that before we install anything. Update the UEFI after installing the processor. We Most of the time the boards do come updated, but if you have an old board with a newer processor, I mean, you're probably gonna have to update the BIOS. So that could be an option. Connect the fan's power supply. You installed a new CPU in the workstation along with the CPU heat sink and fan. Well, if we just installed it, it should, I mean, the fan should be plugged in. I'm assuming that's what it's referring to. Refer that the motherboard supports the processor's speed. I mean, you should do that before you do anything. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the option B. Honestly, I'm gonna go with option B. Let's see. Yeah, that's correct. As best practice, you should update the BIOS shortly after installing a processor. So, like I said, if you have a current processor, current board, most of the time they just come, updated on the latest BIOS. If you're using an older board with a newer processor, kind of like an older AM4 board with a newer AM4 processor, then you may have to update the BIOS. Alrighty. Which of the following central processing unit architectures implement a system on chip where all the controllers, including video, sound, networking, and storage, are part of the CPU? So immediately, that is an ARM. I forgot what the acronym stood for, but pretty much think of, personally, I work at Apple, so all of Apple's processors, all the M series processors are ARM processors. Everything is connected, or everything is built into the CPU. So this immediately looks like multi-threading. How does x64 architecture enhance virtualization and security? I believe this is option B. x64 architecture includes hardware-based virtualization technologies and data execution prevention, which enhance performance and security. I would just option B. I thought, I mean, option B sounded like the best answer, but I was a little on the fence. That's why I wanted to review this one. Okay, I can't. I think we can rule out option D. I think we can rule out option C. Option B sounds correct. Option A also sounds correct too, because it's ARM-based processor, so there doesn't need to be a bunch of other components because everything is built into the processor. I'm gonna go with option A. I'm gonna read the review on this. Okay. ARM processors offer higher performance per watt, which improves battery life and is ideal for mobile devices. ARM's power efficiency is a crucial factor in mobile applications, providing longer battery life and enabling fanless designs. The option stating that ARM uses CISC architecture is incorrect, as it as the deficiency comes from its RISC based design. The option claiming that ARM requires fewer software modifications is inaccurate, as software must be recompiled or emulated for compatibility. Additionally, the idea that ARM integrates fewer components is false because its SoC design combines multiple functionalities, reducing hardware size and complexity. Okay. We will. No, I'm not going to check mark that because I have the video. You work at a computer repair store. You just upgraded the processor, CPU, in a customer's computer. The computer starts, but it locks up shortly after starting Windows. Which of the following is most likely causing the computer to automatically shut down? The CPU is not supported by the BIOS. The fan is not running. Probably. The CPU is bad. The computer has a virus. All right, we can rule out. I mean, I guess it could always have a virus, but probably could rule out D. The CPU is bad. If the CPU is bad, this PC probably wouldn't boot in the first place. But I mean, the CPU, I guess any part of the computer could be bad, quote unquote, and then cause it to boot and then shut down. CPU is not supported by the BIOS. I personally, in real life, have never encountered a CPU not supported by the BIOS, so I generally don't know what happens when that occurs. But what I have encountered in real life is the CPU fan or the AIO pump or the AIO, I guess, is just not working, and the CPU gets super hot. So then the failsafe causes it to shut down. So I'm gonna go with option B. Cool. This is a multi-processor. Oh, okay. A multi-core processor has multiple processor cores integrated into a single processor package. Which of the following refers to placing two or more processors in a single processor chip? Oh, I read this incorrectly. That's why you should slow down a little bit. All right. A multi-processor motherboard allows you to install two or more processors on the same board. See, that's what I thought it was referring to. Multiple processors on the same board, but it's referring to two cores integrated into a single package. Oh, okay. And then, yes, it's not hyper-threading or multi-threading. However, when you try to start the computer, it beeps regularly, and nothing is displayed on the screen. So if it's beeping, that means it's trying to go through the post, but post is failing. Which of the following actions will most likely resolve the issue? Replace the CPU with a new one. Nothing's displaying on the screen. Pressing F8 won't do anything. Like, yeah, it'll try to get us into the BIOS, but nothing displaying. We won't be able to see anything. Replace the motherboard. You've been using the same computer for several years. To improve performance, you decided to upgrade the processor. You check the motherboard document. So we kept our old board, but we upgraded the processor. So like the AM4 I was talking about earlier. I'm gonna go with reinstall the old processor in the board. Okay. Yeah, because obviously, I think out of every option, you definitely want to do this first. If you can and you know how to. Most new motherboards come with like a flash BIOS button, so it's pretty quick. But this can also help with like BIOS stability. Like if you're using an old processor, I'm sorry, a new processor, an old board, if you put the old processor that kind of came out around the same time as that board, like that can help with stability issues. You're installing an Intel Core processor into a board. Which socket type are you most likely using? LAN grid array. What must be true for device drivers in a 64-bit operating system? Okay, it's not A. They're automatically compatible with all modern hardware. It's not B. They can be shared between 32-bit and 64-bit operating software. I like C. I'm gonna go with C. Ah, again, this is why we read again. What must be true for device drivers? I was thinking about for programs. All right, well, I think we got 7 out of 10 correct. So I'm gonna have to redo this again, but I'm gonna upload this one. Obviously, this is my first attempt. I try to upload my first attempt every time, just to show, actual mistakes. But we reviewed the mistakes. We understand where we're wrong. Most of the time, it's just me reading too quick or just not reading at all. So, but hopefully, you guys were able to, learn a couple things about processors. I just wanted to do a different video rather than just me doing the I guess modules or whatever. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. And thank you guys for watching and have a good day.